This episode of the Golf Gambling Podcast from the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code GOLF SGPN. The Sports Gambling Podcast is back with their 32-team NFL previews. They're also bringing back the phrase that pays. Each episode, they'll give out one word of a 32-word phrase. Submit the phrase for a chance to win a $1,000 circa future. Also, MyBookie, we're brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on every single sport, including MLB, WNBA, and of course, football futures. They accept customers from everywhere, easy deposit, lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head to MyBookie.ag, promo code GOLFSGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's MyBookie.ag, promo code GOLFSGPN. Dom, we are back. Bless you. Happy to be back on the show. And we've got a coronation. Did we think it was ever going to happen? Cameron Young across the finish line. What was your initial reaction? Talk to me a little bit about CY.
I mean, it was a very, very long time coming, and he did it in a big way. I mean, didn't there really wasn't a sweat from what, middle of Saturday on? I mean, he just kind of pulled away from the field, and um, that collapse might have ended his career if he would have ended up losing that. I don't know if that's something you can come back from. There's certain guys who I'm like, oh, it's not that bad, but that would have been like as bad as it gets. Um, but yeah, he did it. He did it in a big way.
He did it. I tweeted on Saturday it's going to be a coronation or a death march, and we obviously have the celebration. We're happy to have Cam Young through the winner's circle. Obviously, I'm happy had him at 70-1. I thought it was a great number on him. Great course fit, clearly. He was lights out across the board, gain across the board. And do we see a potential floodgate situation? I mean, not that Goddard won back to back, but Goddard almost finished runner up at the Open, played great at
Yeah.
the 3M Open. Do we see some confidence building? We know he has the talent. Like, what does the future hold for Cam Young? And also, give me your not full Ryder Cup take, but Cam Young specific Ryder Cup take.
So if it continues, I would say I think it definitely can. I mean, it was God, what, April, May, and he really hadn't shown anything, and then really turned it on in the summer and hasn't let up. Obviously, that led into his win. He's been kind of this guy since he got, I mean, since his rookie year, he was finishing in the top five. I mean, just about every other week it felt like, and he just couldn't get a win. So the talent's always been there. I think this will let him relax a little bit, and maybe it'll be good for him. But yeah, I mean, for a while there early on, it was like, is he ever going to find it again? And something clicked, and here we are. Ryder Cup take. I think the playoffs is going to be interesting just from the Ryder Cup standpoint. Like, obviously, the playoffs don't hold the same type of weight as like other sports playoffs. It's kind of like you have your four majors in golf, and then the FedEx Cup playoff is just a way to pay these guys out for what they did throughout the season. Um, it it's hard to say. I'm having such a hard time with what they're gonna do on the U.S. side, just because more and more names that seem like get thrown into the mix every week, and then someone new wins, and it's like, well, what about this guy? Cam Young's case, personally, I think it would be hard to leave him off just because of the way he's playing.
There's so many guys, and I agree. Like, I feel like normally by the Ryder Cup we have the team for the most
Yeah,
part settled by now, heading into September. But there's like 3 to 4 spots that can go to a handful of names, and this is going to be a massive week, and we'll get there in the betting board for the Cantlays and Morikawas of the world. I don't think they need to win, but they need to do something.
show
Truthfully,
life. Yeah,
'cause, I mean, even if they don't do anything, like there's a world where they can still be on the team, obviously. But if I was Keegan, I would be selecting the Griffins of the world over them. I mean, Ben Griffin's like 6th in the FedEx Cup, and he's played great all year, and he's not a lock. He's the only one that's in the top 10, maybe outside of Keegan, who's not involved with the Ryder Cup right now. At least confirmed not involved with the Ryder Cup right now. So this is going to be an interesting, very interesting few weeks of golf, and guys have a lot to play for outside of just money. And
yeah.
we have a few demanding tests up front, like Southwind, and this will lead us into Southwind also, like a ball striking test. Like you can't, if you hit it well, you will get rewarded around Southwind, and we've seen that time and time again. So yeah, personally, I don't. I'm not a big like narrative Ryder Cup guy. I'm try to take it with as little bias as possible. I was kind of
Yeah.
out on Goddard Ryder Cup after he won Scottish, even though I'm a massive Goddard fan. And then he kind of parlayed those 2 weeks. All right, I could see it now. So
Yeah.
obviously him and Cam and these other guys got to play well these next few weeks, but it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna
Yeah,
be a lot.
and my thing is like at the end of the day, when you have to break ties, you kind of look at recent form and then who's been doing it consistently the longest. Like you mentioned Ben Griffin. He's been there the whole year. So if he shows anything again, it should lock his spot. I'm not saying one Cam Young win pushes him into it or uh, hot month from God or pushes him up there, but if you're breaking ties and you're looking at like you said, Colin and Pat say they just don't have it in the playoffs. I mean, sure the name value's there, but end of the like I said, you have to be playing good golf.
100%. You cannot fake your way into a Ryder Cup, and like Keegan, I think this is a great year for Keegan to be captain because he's not going to take any shit. I can see him like
No.
he got gypped last time potentially in the Ryder Cup in Italy, so I don't think he has any. He doesn't need to be part of this boys' club. He doesn't need to. He'll do what he wants to do, what he feels right, and if that's Patrick Cantlay, Colin Morikawa, Chris Goddard, I don't care what he does, but I trust Keegan to make the right decision, and I'm very excited for this Ryder Cup in September as an American citizen. So let's get into Southwind. Any specific keys outside of stern and true ball striking that you're looking for?
Yeah, I mean, you nailed it. TPC Southwind, longer on the longer side for par 70s. It usually plays right around the tour average, sometimes towards the easier side. But the last 2 years, it's been the first leg of this playoff. Last year, Hideki won at 17 under. The year before, Glover won at 15 under in a playoff over Pat. But yeah, I'm looking at off the tee. Altogether, if you want to emphasize accuracy, you can, just because there is some trouble to get into. Even though the winning score can get into the high teens, there's definitely holes where you can blow up and kind of put yourself out of the tournament. So I want guys who are able to hit it straight or have been recently hitting it straight. Approach buckets from like 130 to 170 I was kind of looking at, honed in on that, just the proximity to the hole overall. And then I did weigh in bogey avoidance just because of all the trouble that's around. I think
Yeah.
there's easily ways to make bogeys here, and if you can stay away from it and kind of tread water for 4 days, you should be right around there.
Yeah, what was it a few years ago when I believe it was Bryson and I forget who won. No, the year Abe Answer won, I think. It was Bryson and Harris English leading the whole Sunday, and then they both went in the water, I believe, on that one par three on the back. And then Cam Smith had a chance to win. He tried to do the most on hole 8, the 72nd hole, and then I think Abe Answer won in the playoff over Sam Burns. I could be wrong, but I think that was what I was remembering, and that just goes to show all the trouble that could be around. But if you're playing from the right spots, you can attack, you can make birdies. We saw Hideki get to 17 under, I believe, through 3 rounds last year. And he shot even par, almost blew it on that Sunday. It was a crazy Sunday last year, but yeah. So Southwind, hit your spots, you can attack. Miss your spots, you could be in trouble. But overall, stern ball striking test, good golf course. Scotty Scheffler. Are we scared of him? Are we going without? Are we going to do a forecast? How do we approach Scotty Scheffler?
Uh, Probably doing without this week, actually.
I think I'm less scared of. I was kicking. I have dreams about it actually. I was so confident in Scotty Scheffler at the Open, and then I tried to get cute with the dual forecast.
Yeah.
I'm less scared of him this week. Truthfully, I really am.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that's fair.
yeah, I'm less scared. So I think I'm gonna take him on. I do.
And the field's stronger, no cut event, so I mean, you can definitely make the case for it, but pretty big drop off, really.
Yeah, I mean, you get Scotty like 2.5 to 1 plus 280 to Xander 16 to 1, 15 to 1, and not that I'm in love. This is the most I'm in love with Xander this year. I think first time he's gained strokes off the tee and on approach and back to back starts since this time last year, which was a runner up and obviously the win at the Open. So Xander's finally kicking it into gear, and I think it's a great golf course for him. Do I want to search for a Xander win sub 20, which we we don't see sub 20 winners very often outside of Scotty or Rory.
Yeah.
But if there was a week, I do like Xander. It's the numbers, the only thing that's kind of keeping me off it. But I'll probably make my decision later in the show or tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I do like him, but just when you look down the board a little bit and see the guys who are at 30 or in the 30s, you kind of reconsider that. So I'm definitely going to have to take a closer look at it. But like you said, Xander's definitely rounding into form. He's showed us quite a bit over the last couple months, returning from injury. So
Yeah. All right. Let's get to this next range. We have JT, Tommy, Matt Fitz can find himself in this range now, and then yeah, I guess we'll go with these 30 guys as well. Ludwig, Russ Henley, and Colin around 30. The fact that Matt Fitz is above Ludwig, Russell, and Colin is crazy to me, but at least it's on DraftKings. But this is probably a spot where a lot of people will start their cards. What is your thoughts around this range?
I have a really hard time with this range. I mean, Fitz makes sense, but the number doesn't. Um, Tommy, we know how we both feel about Tommy. I mean, the number's absolutely fair. This place should set up for him pretty well. I mean, we know that he's able to hit fairways. We know that his irons should be able to be hot. I mean, I'm looking at scrambling or around the green a little bit just because some of these greens are a little bit harder to hit, and we know Tommy can do that. So I don't know if I can get to anyone in this range. I think I might start at 35. What do you think of these guys in the 30s?
I think I like Colin, and I like that the buzz is kind of off Colin. We
Yeah,
saw from Davis Thompson. This is my thing with Colin. Davis Thompson had a really rough go around in Scotland in the UK. He did not hit the ball well, which I think is fine. He had a rough go around at TPC Twin Cities, which
yeah,
I think is fine. That's a volatile golf course. Colin hit it like shit over there.
yeah,
You can have I mean, it's an open championship. Stuff can go wrong. Colin
yep.
gets back to the States, cookie cutter TPC design, fairways, greens, comfortable surfaces. He's played well here before, and it's back against the wall time. We saw him win in the fall. We're getting close to the fall. I like the 30. When Colin gets 30,
I
that's when I like
know.
to buy him. So I could start here with Colin, and I think he's my guy in this range.
Yeah, yeah. If I had to pull the trigger on one, I think it would be Colin. Like you said, Davis Thompson. We went to him last week, and he showed us life. I mean, I like when the buzz is off of Colin, and we talked about him at the top of the show with the Ryder Cup. I mean, the pressure's kind of on him. Does the playoffs matter for everyone? Maybe not that much, but when you're playing for something else, Colin's not looking at a check. He's not playing for a check. He's playing to get a spot on the Ryder Cup team. He's been hitting fairways. His approach numbers on the 130 to 170, like I said, I was kind of honing in on. The numbers are there, so I could definitely see myself starting with Colin. I have to dissect this 30s range because I know I'm not getting to JT. I shouldn't get to Tommy or Fitz, and that basically just leaves us with Colin or Russ. And if I had to pick, it'd be Colin.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And so let's get to the 35 range where you said you liked. I assume you're gonna go with Victor. Is Victor your guy here?
Yes, Victor is my guy here. T2 last year, couple top 20s the 2 years prior. Um, the irons have been pretty solid. Rates out pretty good overall for me, and the same as like you said about Colin. When Colin gets to 30, I think Victor's kind of in that same bucket for me, except I mean 35 is a pretty good number for him.
35 is a great number. He's also 35 to 1 to win the entire FedEx Cup. I expect Victor to be the most popular bet golfer this week. But it makes so much sense. He's doing nothing but stripe. He's great number. He's played well here before. Like he's checking every single
Yeah,
box. Sometimes you don't overthink it. And it's a short field. Uh, why can't Victor win this golf tournament? He can easily win this golf tournament. So I'm probably not going to get there because I want to get a little different. But yeah, Victor makes all the sense in the world. I'm going to go down to this 40s range, 40s, 45. Like Colin, actually not like Colin, kind of like Colin. Sam Burns. Sam Burns is driving the ball very well right now. And he's when Sam Burns is driving it well and being aggressive, that is when he's at his best. He's got great results here. And more than anything, we know what he can do on Bermuda grass. When he gets
Yeah.
hot on the greens, he can light it up. So Sam Burns, I think, is a good number. And he's also like kind of on the outside looking in. Like outside of Scotty being his best friend, what's he really done to deserve this Ryder Cup spot?
Yeah.
So prove it spot for Sam Burns, and when he's back against the wall, I'm down for him. I mean, coming off of a great little run a few weeks ago, Canada, U.S. Open, he should be ready.
Yeah. I can't. I think 40 is a great number for him as well. This that's why it's so hard for me to get to Xander or even JT for that part because of this range. Like even for whatever reason, I'm tempted by Pat again.
I am
Like
too. Back against the wall.
35. If I double tap the 35s with Victor and Pat, and that's the start of my card, I think I'm feeling pretty good.
I'm with you. I mean, you can get five, 4 to 5 guys at 35 to 1 and have around a 7x card and be great for
Yeah,
the week. And then you wouldn't even get that many guys. You get 2 guys at 35, two at 50, and then one more like long shot. Like bang, you have a higher ROI card with some win equity. And
yeah,
I mean, this is a range that like doesn't win as often as it should. But there's
it
some
doesn't.
names. But this is also 70-man field. Things are different. This board's constructed a little differently. So I think I'm with you in this range. Is there anyone else you like from this 40 to 50 range before we can kind of open it up because this field is a little shorter?
Um, I will go to Shane Lowry. He's just outside the 50, 55. I think this is as good a spot as any. Like always, Shane rates out really well. He does everything that this course asks of you. I am a broken record when it comes to whenever I look at bogey avoidance, I'm looking at Shane Lowry. So the recent results haven't been the best in the world, but the irons have stayed fairly hot. Um, just really need him to show up off the tee. He's lost quite a bit of strokes off the tee in the last month or so. If he can straighten that out, which I think he should be able to hit some fairways, play a little bit smart around Southwind. Shane Lowry at 55 just seems like too good of a value. Maybe it's a trap, but I'm willing to bite.
No, I mean, he's not getting talked about at all this week. He doesn't make the most sense in the world, but when Shane Lowry is kind of going under the radar, I like him. Just think of him at Portrush. Think of him at Oakmont. He was chalk of the week, made all the sense in the world. Now the buzz is kind of off Shane Lowry, and he's drifting a little bit in the odds board. Remember when he drifted at Pebble Beach and we both picked
Yeah.
him up, almost won that golf tournament. So I'm down for Shane Lowry too. Um, and then this rest of this 50 to 70 range does not really bite my eye. I'm gonna
No.
pass it off to you, or if you have no one, then we can open it up. But I have a few names triple digits that we're gonna get to. But is there anyone else you want to talk about in this 50 to 80 range?
Yeah, I'm. There's really nobody from. No, there's no one from 50 to even 100 that's really catching my
Yeah,
eye.
yeah, I'm totally with you. So we'll do that 100 range, and then we'll circle back around for our bets. But really quickly, 2 ad reads. The Circa world's greatest sportsbook, Circa Las Vegas. They are hosting the Circa Million Survivor and the Grandissimo, $21 million in guaranteed prizes. You can't call yourself a true DGen if you're not competing in these contests. So come hang out with the SGPN guys August 21st to 23rd for an amazing weekend. Bars, live shows, 15% off your stay at the Circa with promo code SGP15. Contests are open to everyone. Sign up in Nevada. Play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com and use promo code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. Dom knows a lot about the Circa. He spends a lot of hours in there. So just have any questions about the Circa, ask him. And finally, Rhythm. They continue to crush with their power trend. They win at a very high rate. They're actually at a 70% rate right now, believe it or not. WNBA power trends are 27 and 16. The MLB ones, I don't have their actual number, but they're at a 23.26% ROI. Nice little bankroll builder with the NFL around the corner. So download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start betting smarter. You know we will get your 7-day free trial. sportsgamingpodcast.com/RITHMM. All right, Dom. 100 to 1 range and above, whatever you want to do. You lead us off. Give me a name or two, and then we'll circle it back around.
So these are probably placement bets, but Emiliano Grillo again is rating out great. The finishing position wasn't there last week, but the irons were still on. I think he's going to be able to do well around here. Rates out extremely well for me yet again. So 150 to 1 on the outright for him. And then the deepest guy that I have given a look at is Patrick Rogers. The Irons
What's
were
that?
very hot last week.
That's rare for
So
him too. I like that.
I know, very rare for him. Short field, 250 to 1 on the outright, but when the top 40s come out, um, if they do, I mean, they'll probably not be as aggressive as normal, but you might be able to get something around even money for a
Yeah,
top
I
40
mean,
on
this is a
Patrick
great
Rogers.
top 40 week. Actually, I might just smack a few of those,
Yeah.
which I usually don't. I got one guy, 100 to 1 or above. A guy that we're a fan of, Ryan Gerard,
Yes.
finally on his preferred surfaces. A little bit of a dip in the ball striking after the win, but he's been blazing ball striking the past. What does a Ryan Gerard win get? Well, if Ryan Gerard wins, 2 wins, I know one's an alternate event. Young stud, hits it far, stripes it.
Yeah.
A Ryan Gerard win would spark conversation. That's all I have to say.
I think it would. It
And
would
he
have to,
can win
right?
this event.
Because we've already said, like, outside of his putter, there's not many flaws for this guy.
No,
Like, if he's not dead last in putting, he's live pretty much anywhere.
he is your favorite flusher's favorite flusher. Like the dude just has a crazy, repeatable swing. The guys with the crazier swings, and this is a take derived from my good buddy Wrist over at Vincerix, and he brought this to my attention, and I thought it was so true. Guys and girls who have funky looking swings are I love them because that just proves to everyone that they're not robots who are just built in like a swing lab and they've done this funky swing so many millions of times that it's just so repeatable to them. Like just think of the Jim Furyks of the world who just flush beyond belief. Same thing with Ryan Gerard, John Rahm too. Like just guys who
Yeah.
have these shorter, repeatable, weird looking swings. It's repeatable to them. They've been doing it since they were babies, and Ryan Gerard is one of those guys. And he's on Bermuda. Like this is the surfaces that he needs. Do not be shocked if Ryan Gerard gets into the mix this week. That's all I got to say.
He's just got to even with the field putting. That's all we're asking.
Not asking for much. Anyone else above 100 do you want to touch on, or you want to go into the picks?
I think I'm good to get into the picks. There's
All right,
really, I mean, it gets pretty gross at the end.
it does. It does. Let's do two outrights and two positionals because this is a
Okay.
shorter book. I'll start us off with the outrights. I'm gonna give him a go. I said 30 to 1. 30 to 1 is the buy number. Colin Morikawa. If you're buying a 30 to 1 Colin Morikawa in your life, you're doing well. So I'm gonna go with him. He's generally in the 20s, sometimes the teens, and we get in the 3. Let's do Colin back against the wall. America, stripe these cookie cutter greens. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I'll go with another guy whose back's against the wall. We talked about at the top of the show, Patrick Cantlay, 35 to 1. I think it's a decent spot to start when everyone else is off of him. Um, Usually a good time to get on because we know he can win. He just needs to put it all together, and I think 35 to 1 is a good number for Cantlay.
All right, I will go with another guy I mentioned, Sam Burns, 40 to 1, driving it very aggressively, driving it straight, and he knows how to make his way around TPC Southwind. Has done it multiple times in his career, nearly won here before. Great Bermuda putter, so I'm down for some Sam Burns. A top 5, a contention week probably gets him on the Ryder Cup team confirmed, so I'm down for some Sam B around 40 to 1. I think it's a great number.
My second one's, I'm just going to go with Shane Lowry, 55 to 1. Not going to overthink it. There's definitely some guys in the middle tier there that could catch my eye and I could be convinced on, but I think Shane Lowry's done enough this year, and we know the type of game he plays. So 55 to 1 is a really good value at TPC Southwind.
All right, I will go with a top 20 pick. Surprised we did not talk about him yet. He probably has the best course history of anyone in this field. That's Daniel Berger, a guy that we both like. He's done nothing but stripe as well the last few months, and he's putt like me on the greens. But he's back on Bermuda for the first time in a long time. We know Berger is a massive Bermuda guy. Hashtag Jupe Life, hashtag DB Tripe Vibin. Get him to his preferred services, won this event multiple times, and has other top 5 finishes, runner-up finishes here. Top 20 plus 115 for Daniel Berger. What if Daniel Berger wins this week? Veteran,
I
Ryder
don't
Cup.
think anyone wants that.
No.
I don't know if that gets him there, though. I mean, it definitely
Good.
pushes him further into the conversation, but
Like what? Okay, obviously Jordan Spieth win would get him on the team, but does a Jordan Spieth top 3 get him on the team, whereas a Daniel Berger win doesn't get him on the team?
right.
What's the answer to that question?
I'm
No
not
one
sure there is
knows.
one.
Keegan,
Yeah.
are you listening? Keegan's probably listening, so DM us after the show. DM us.
uh, I'm gonna go deep on my first positional. We're gonna go Patrick Rogers 4-1 for a top 20. Like what I saw last week out of him, probably as far down as you're gonna go. I'd like to catch a top 40 number once it comes out. If it's around even money, I think it's fair. But I'm gonna start with Patrick Rogers on a positional.
All right, I will finish it up with Andrew Novak, top 20 plus 250. Kind of squandering strokes on approach right now, but we know he's a green across the board guy, very balanced golfer, who's shown great signs this year, gotten into the contention at big events, and should be ready. I mean, he knows a big week, and he's been in the conversation too. I kind of think he's a little bit too far on the outside looking in, but a win could change that. But top 20 plus 250, I don't think a win is in the card for Novak here, but I think he can have a nice week.
I'm gonna go with a guy who I don't usually bet on and I didn't talk about, but Corey Connors plus 128 on a top 20. I think this place makes a lot of sense for him. I don't love him at 40-1 in terms of an outright. I don't usually bet him on the outright market, but for Connors to finish top 20, I think that's very doable. Guy who's gonna come in, hit some fairways, stay out of trouble, hopefully. T10 at the Open the last time he played and did pretty much everything that you would need him to do outside of show up with the putter, which we know he can do at times. So plus 128 for Corey Connors on the top 20.
Love it. There's the picks. There is the outrights. There's a course rundown, player rundown. As always, thank you guys for listening. And Dom, thank you for joining me early in the week on Monday. And we'll be back next week with the BMW Championship. I will be on site in Baltimore. So a little insight there. Surprise if you didn't know. And yeah, so catch you guys then. Peace out.
Good luck.